Go ahead.
Welcome into another edition of Press Box Live. I'm Stan the Fan Charles, along with Luke Jackson and the old left-hander Ross Grimsley. As usual, we are brought to you by our good friends at the Costas Inn with two great locations. The original location, 4100 North Point Boulevard, and that's the one. If you want steamed crabs, yeah, Ross, can I get two thumbs? Two thumbs up? All right. You got six thumbs up for the Costas Inn. If you want steamed crabs, 410-477-1975. They are mobbed with orders for crabs. So call ahead, 410-477-1975. Make sure they got the right size, the price point you want, and that size is available for when your party is. Great menu for lunch and dinner at the Costas Inn. The new location is in Timonium at the fairgrounds, above the grandstand at the racetrack, right next to the OTB there. There are signs all around the place on Timonium Road, in between York Road and catty corner to Timonium Road. The Costas Inn open for lunch and dinner at both places. Great service, great food, great people at the Costas Inn. Also brought to you by Warnken Law. 443 results, not just a phone number. It's their mission. 443 results. If you've been injured in an accident in Baltimore or anywhere in the state of Maryland, they can handle it better than anybody. Call 443 results or look them up on the web at warnkenlaw.com. Guys, it's the All-Star week has begun. The draft is done, finished. I'm wondering, Ross. I've got a couple. I've got a couple All-Star stories that I wrote about today. Did you ever pitch in an All-Star game, Ross, or make the
No,
team? No.
I made it. I made the team in the National League team in 1978.
And
Me and
then would
Steve
they kick you?
Rogers.
Would they kick you off?
No, I was on. I
Oh,
pitched.
you
I
were
think.
on the team.
Yeah, I was on the
Oh,
team.
that's what I meant. Were you on the team?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Me and Steve Rogers made the team from the Expos. I think the only two Expos to make it at one time, and we had to fly on the plane with the Phillies to San Diego. That's where the All-Star game was.
Right.
For whatever reason, or we wouldn't have made it, but we were happy. The Phillies were happy to do it, so it was an exciting time. A lot of fun. It's kind
Who
of
was the National League manager then? Lasorda?
oh God, it might have. I don't even remember. I don't.
Okay.
I was so in awe being there. First of all, with
Yeah.
you look around, you're with all these you know future Hall of Famers and what have you, and it was just it just in awe. Just walking around. What am I doing here? That's one of the things.
Did all the players get like a gift bag of goodies,
Oh, we got all
goodie
kind of
bag?
stuff.
Yeah.
We got all kind of stuff. Yeah, it
Can
was
can Luke and I get some of it? You
if
still
you
have it?
go, probably. Oh
No, no,
no, do I still?
I
Yes,
meant
I
your
do.
stuff. Yeah.
I still have some stuff.
All right.
I got one of those little bats about like this. I
Did
like.
you ever warm up for that game?
No, I had pitched the day before, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and they didn't do like they did in the past, or like they do now, where they get somebody else.
Yeah.
So
But
Stan was asking who the NL manager was. It was Tommy Lasorda.
yeah,
Yeah.
And if you had to guess, who do you think the AL manager was?
probably
Must have
Earl,
been Billy Martin.
It was Billy Martin.
Billy Martin. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
78.
78.
You
Yeah,
mentioned a
Yeah.
year.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was a
Um,
great time. It was unbelievable. A lot of fun. Like I said before, we were talking earlier before the show. Mike Flanagan made the American League team. He didn't pitch, and after the game, we met each other at the mound and shook hands. And
did Rogers pitch? Rogers pitched, didn't
yes,
he?
right, yes, he
Yeah.
did. Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
And the game was where? Jack Murphy Stadium?
Yes, yeah, in
Okay.
San Diego. Yeah, it was
Here's
a
one,
great
Ross.
time.
I might have asked you this before, Ross, but who were the starting pitchers that day?
I don't even remember.
It was
I was
Jim Palmer for the AL and
That's
Vida
what I
Blue for the NL.
by the
By the
blue.
blue.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It
Interesting.
was it was a long time ago.
Now, did you
But I
ever?
tell you, we went. Dave Winfield had a charity thing that we went to,
Right.
and my agent, well, a lot of our guys had an agent, Jerry Capstein,
Yep.
and he was out there, and I think Garvey was one of his guys. Obviously, met me and Flanny, and we went to
Did he
different.
handle Palmer back then?
No, I
No,
don't. No, I don't
Shapiro
think
was
so.
handling
Yeah,
Palmer.
possibly, yeah. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of good things. But like Winfield was great with this charity he invited us to, and we went to that. That was a lot of fun.
Was
What?
back in those days, was there really intense rivalry between the two leagues?
Uh, yeah, I mean, they're not intense, but it was. I mean, you take the field, you want to beat the other guy.
Yeah,
You know,
whatever side
that's.
you're on. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was. You have having Rose there. You know, there was going to be. He wanted to do well and win, but yeah. I mean, you want to
Rose,
win,
of course, is most famous for 1970 in the All-Star game, knocking the shit out
right?
of Ray
Posse.
Fosse. Yeah,
Yeah.
at home
So,
plate.
Yeah.
so Ross, the NL won 7-3 in '78. Do you
Yes.
remember who the MVP was?
Oh gosh, let me. Oh, I can't. I did know that, but I forgot. I have
Steve
a.
Garvey.
That's
Steve
right,
Garvey.
Garvey. Yeah, he had a pretty good game. We had went. I'd never been around him and his wife, and like I said, Capstein was
He was
uh
married to
was
Cindy then, right? Cindy Garvey.
yes, yeah. And we went out, and I'll never forget. Yeah, he wouldn't drink, and I think she didn't either. And we were having a great time, and she said, "Why can't you be like these guys?" Well, you got to look good for the people. We didn't
Yeah,
give a
yeah,
shit.
yeah. Hey, by the way, your buddy the other night at Oriole Park, they had three Oriole alumni there. They had Rick Krivda, they
Right.
had Tom Niedenfuhr, who lives down by you,
Yes.
and Don Stanhouse was there.
Stanley. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
We go on a cruise together. I saw Krivda in Hagerstown.
right. He
Uh,
looks good.
yeah, looks like he can still
Looks
pitch.
like he could still go out
Yeah,
there and
yeah,
pitch. Yeah.
yeah. Good guy. Really like them all. They're really
Um,
good.
do you enjoy the All-Star game as much as I did when I was a kid? I used to love the All-Star game when I was a kid.
Uh, Yeah, not as much now. It's a different game. I mean, all around, it's a different thing, and it's just like I said, it wasn't the same as it was when I was a kid. Obviously,
Yeah.
it wasn't the same as when I was a player, and I was there in 1978. It's different. It seems a little more commercial and not as much of a game
Yeah.
as it used
I
to
just
be.
when they started going to pitching pitchers one inning,
Yeah,
it kind of lost me because the pitchers now pitch one inning and all
right.
they do is fire the ball. The game is a lot of times. And it's funny, last year about the third inning, I was saying that to myself. This game is such a snore. And then there were some runs scored last year, Luke,
Yeah.
weren't there?
Yeah, but typically in recent years, there's been a lot of strikeouts.
Oh, it's just unbelievable. It's pitchers dominated so much. Not that much.
Yeah.
My big memory was 1958. I went to the game with my brother. I was 6 years old, and my uncle Charlie. And Ross, I don't know if you ever walked upstairs at Memorial Stadium, but we had seats about 5 rows from the top.
Oh God.
And there's at Memorial Stadium, there were no handrails to go up or
Yeah.
down and it was like angled like down. And I got up, and when I got up and looked down, I was so afraid the whole game trying to figure out how I was going
Yeah.
to get down. I was 6 years old without
Hey.
falling over out of the stadium, you know.
Yeah. No, hey, I don't go up. I don't like crowds, and I don't like that kind of stuff. Being high up in a stadium or something. That's just the elevator. I walking in those indoor hotel, not the where they have the the dining area downstairs, and you can look out and walk. I have to walk next to the doors, kind of creep along because
Yeah.
I'm just petrified. It's
Yeah.
scary for me.
All right. Luke, is this year they're changing some of the rules of the home run derby tonight?
Yeah, so the timer is off,
You just get
and
20 pitches in the first
or it's
round?
like 10 outs, or I don't know. I think they're just counting the outs again, or maybe you get 20 pitch. I don't know.
I thought it
But the
was
time,
20 pitches and then 15 in the second round.
you might be
And
right, but I think the clock was like 2.5 or 3 minutes before, and I think the batters felt rushed and they basically tired themselves out in the first
yeah,
round.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I think that was the idea. It's a really good field. MLB gets a much better home run derby field than the NBA gets a slam dunk contest field. I can tell you that.
yeah, yeah. Ross, you have any problem tonight? Jack Paglione is going to be in the home run derby contest. He's not even an all-star.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, what is I don't understand that.
Really, that's how did that happen?
I
Well, I'll tell you
never
what, they probably needed one more person, Stan, and Jack was going to be in Baltimore. So, like, you want to take the trip up, quick trip up to Philadelphia for
that
Monday?
may be it because they rounded out the field at the last minute. They talked
Right,
Schwarber into
right.
getting into the All-Star game. You know, you know what's
A
funny?
lot of guys don't want to even go.
Well,
Yeah,
here's the thing. Jack has enough raw power. He might win the thing.
he could win it. He could
And
win
not
it.
even be an all-star.
Did you
Yeah,
see Sammy and Pete try to challenge his arm to get to second base twice this weekend?
yep,
That kid's a tool shed.
yeah,
And Ben McDonald was talking about it. He covered him with the SEC network, and
yeah.
he's got extreme raw power. He's got extreme arm strength in right field.
You know who he reminds me of? Who was the guy that played for the Rangers? He was
Joey
a
Gallo?
who?
Joey
Joey
Gallo?
Gallo.
Yep.
Gallo.
Similar
Yeah,
skill
he's
Gallo.
got
set.
the
Yeah.
kind of tools that Gallo has, and unfortunately, his batting average is could fall down to that level. We'll see how his
I think he's
career
going to make more
progresses.
contact than Gallo. Hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
let's hope so. Guys, let's talk a little bit about the Orioles for a few minutes before we take that break. This injury to Blaze Alexander and how it happened. We have Luke and I have a mutual friend of ours,
He might
uh,
listen to this. Who
Luke,
knows?
Bruce Posner, and Bruce. Every time an Oriole gets hit, that now factor in that this time Blaze Alexander got hit and he was hurt and he's going
Right.
to miss at least 4 or 5 weeks at least,
Couple
right?
months, maybe. Yeah. I was.
Could be 2 months. He was irate about that the Orioles should have done this. And he got I said, Bruce, I said, first of all, the umpires warned both benches, So I said, if he throws at one of their players, and first of all, we only had one inning, got a 6-run lead. Why do you want to start fooling around with, you know,
Oh, really?
let's dogs lie. They're going. So he's all upset about this. I said, you want the pitcher to get suspended for 5 to 7 games. And I said, you can't replace the pitcher. You got to pitch a pitcher short for the length of the suspension. And he's like, oh, you mean there's nothing we can do? And I said, their old expression to me is revenge is a dish best served cold, you know. Now, if they want to throw at somebody next year, go at it. But to do it in that case, I thought would be foolish. You know, you're one inning
Or,
you're one inning
I,
away from the All-Star break. You
Yeah, I
know,
thought that like Andrew Kittredge throwing at Bobby Witt would have created more problems than they already have,
yeah,
and and they already have some problems with Blaze being out. That's a big blow.
yeah, it is.
yo, big, huge, yeah. But you know what? I mean, you gotta look at something, and the Orioles were up what 7-2.
8-2 after the eighth inning.
After the seventh inning,
Yeah,
Right,
this happened in the
after
seventh
the
inning. Yeah,
seventh
right,
inning, Basayo hit the home run.
right.
And Kansas City's bad.
right. Their
They're
pitching is
bad.
bad, bad.
Pitching is beyond bad. I mean, the poor left-handers don't have a chance. But anyway, you know,
Beyond that.
Basayo hits the Orioles hit 6 home runs in less than 24 hours.
Right.
Right.
You
Right.
know, so somebody is going to either get a ball close to him because no one likes to be showed up. And if he wanted to hit him, he wouldn't have thrown the ball where he threw it.
Right.
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 If you want to hit him, you're going to throw lower and hit him in the back so you don't miss. So that was I'm surprised that they didn't throw any more balls. Pitchers don't pitch inside
Right.
enough because
Ben
the
McDonald
Orioles.
talks about that all the time.
Oh yeah, they don't pitch in because first of all they're afraid to. Second
Hmm.
of all, if a ball gets anywhere near a hitter,
Get warnings.
they're going to lose their minds.
Right.
Like almost every rule, not every rule, but most of the rules are against the pitcher.
Right.
So my whole thing is you have to expect, and plus Alexander was what 4 out of 6. He had 2 for 2, I think, the one day. Had 2 hits the day before, and he just happened to come up after Basayo clobbered one. Again.
Right. And
So so you
let
yeah
me ask you this, and I don't know if you're about to get into this. Sorry if I cut you off. But
no.
after the Basayo home run, Ursa quick pitches Alexander twice,
Right.
and apparently when
That
he
was
quick
his
pitches,
explanation as to why the ball got away, that he was
so
trying to.
why? I'm going to ask you this, Ross. Why did he quick pitch him after the home run? Did he have the
You know
ass?
what? Why don't pitchers work quicker and do that anyway? I don't understand that. I mean, you're pissed because when that umpire's hand goes down, throw the ball. And quick pitch him is. I mean, what? Is that a reason to get upset? I mean, if you're in the
He
box,
got
be ready.
upset because he knew his hand was broken. He
Right.
knew.
That's
He
why he was.
knew it.
Yeah,
That's
well,
why he
I
got
mean,
upset. Yeah.
that's hey, that's. Sorry it happened, but it's part of the game. I'm sure the guy didn't want to break his hand.
Right.
Exactly.
But
Look,
I mean,
Urseg's ERA this year, it's over 7 runs a game.
yeah. Hey, there's a lot of
7.32
guys
ERA.
that I mean
Yeah.
that's average for some of these
Yeah.
guys.
But
But I just
to get back into it, Earl never liked to throw at anybody for retaliation because
he
he
didn't
said
want to do it any
he didn't
time.
want to get his player hurt.
No,
Yeah.
no. But I mean, sometimes you got to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't stand there and swing out of your shoes every pitch, and then you hit 4 or 5 home runs and don't expect somebody to get a ball inside.
Yeah.
No, that's not. That's the game has changed, but still, you got people that aren't going to stand there and just take an ass beating, because somebody's going to go down, and that's everywhere. That's everywhere. The problem is,
By the end of that series, the Royals had the ass. There's no question about
well,
it.
no, I mean,
Yeah.
really, but they're used to it. They're used.
It's been a rough first half for
Yeah,
them.
They're 20
they
Like,
games,
just
they're
don't want to
21
get,
games under 500.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, their starting rotation is crap to bed. Their bullpen's
they're
crap to
terrible,
bed.
and
And like their lineup has some dudes in it. Like Witt's an annual MVP candidate.
oh
Cashman's
yeah,
had a nice year. I really like the young catcher Jensen, but beyond that, it's they got some work to do.
Yeah.
yeah.
They got lots of work to do. We got some work to do too. We're going to talk about the Orioles' 4-game winning streak and whether it's a precursor to some better things in the second half. We're also going to talk about what the Orioles do once again at the deadline. Are they buyers or sellers? And how does the next week or so impact that when they go to Houston? And then where do we go after Houston? We go to
Boston.
Boston.
Yeah. And by about that time, the Orioles general manager Mike Elias will have some decisions to make. We'll be right back. Right now, I got to talk about guys. I need my help as usual. The Costas in. They genuinely get 6 thumbs up from the three of us. If we had more thumbs, we would do it.
Put some
We
toes up.
we put some toes. Can you put one of your toes up, Ross?
I can't bend my leg up far.
All right. All right. As I mentioned at the outset, 4100 North Point Boulevard, that's the original location for the Costas Inn. If you're interested in crabs, to have a little crab feast with your family or some friends, you got to bring some people in from out of town and tell them about the steamed crabs at the Costas Inn. Call this number 410-477-1975. Going to repeat it, 410-477-1975. Check out, make sure you know the price point on the crabs you want, the size, whether they're available, so you make your little crab feast amongst family and friends go smoothly at the Costas Inn, 410-477-1975. The other location is at Timonium above the grandstand at the racetrack, just next to the OTB there at the Costas Inn. Both locations are open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Great food, great service, home cooking atmosphere at either Costas Inn. And don't forget the law offices of Byron Warnken, Warnken Law, 443 results if you've been injured in an accident in Baltimore or the state of Maryland, 443 results, or go to their website, Warnken, WARNKEN, law.com, to read up on what they can do to help you pursue what you deserve. All right. I'm here with Ross Grimsley, Luke Jackson. I'm Stan the Fan Charles, and back to talking about the Orioles. Ross Grimsley, they finally got the 3-game winning streak onus off their backs yesterday, winning a 4th straight game. Is it too late for this team to still really become relevant in the playoff picture?
Yep, I got to, I feel better about it than I did, a week
A week
ago?
ago, yeah.
Yeah, a week ago, and just looking at some numbers. I mean, the starting staff: Bradish, Boz, Rogers, Young, even Kramer. I mean, over their last 5 starts each, Kramer only 2. They have a earned run average of below 3 at 290.
Mhm.
These are the starters. The bullpen hasn't been. They've done a pretty good job, and the games coming up that the Orioles have. I mean, they play. Uh,
Houston and Boston on the
Houston
road.
and Boston. Boston's been playing well. They're 9-1 over their last 10 games. Houston, I mean, they're playing some teams that they have to win the series if
Mhm.
they want to progress. I mean, they're 2 games out of the wild card. You know, a lot, and this could really happen. I think the starters have done a good job. Now with Alexander out, that's going to cause a little bit of a problem. But the O's against below 500 teams. They're they're 11-11. They got 10 home games, 21 away games against those teams, and they play well. But against the teams above 500, the teams they've played, they're 9-14. They got 34 games against teams above 500. So that you kind of scratch your head there. If the Oars could score runs, they score 4 more runs. And Luke, you may check this. I think they're 36-15. That's 700 baseball.
Mhm.
4 more runs. If they can do that, and they seem to be doing it, I just think that there's an outside.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem as I see it. And Luke, I want your opinion on this. As I wrote, I may not have clearly stated it, but there's only 7 teams out of 30 that I rule out of the playoff picture.
Right.
City, the A's, the Angels, Colorado, San Francisco, Cincinnati, and the Mets. So
Mhm.
when we say we're only 2 games out of the wild card, so is everybody else.
Right.
So you've got to pass or play better than the Boston Red Sox, who now won 9 in a row. You got to play better than Houston. Got to play better than Minnesota and Seattle. And
And,
that's a
and
lot of
Minnesota,
teams. And
yeah,
Toronto, too. You got to
yeah.
play substantially better to make the playoffs. And I just don't know. I'm not saying they're out of it. Clearly, they're not mathematically or anything. But I just don't know if this team is good enough to go on a roll that can get them there.
They picked up 3 games over the last 10. They were
Yeah,
5 out. Now they're 2 out.
right.
So anything can happen. I mean, and they're playing. They're playing some teams that they could move past. But again,
Right.
like you said, the Yankees in Cleveland Yankees are 6.5 games up in the wild card. Cleveland is they're 3 up. Seattle and Minnesota are tied. Then you got Boston a half, or Houston a game and a half, and the Orioles two.
Yeah,
And then it's a crapshoot. But
it's a
now,
crapshoot.
what do
So,
you
so how
do?
does Luke? How does Mike Elias approach this trade deadline now? Let's just say the next 9 games they play Houston, Boston, Atlanta, and Detroit.
Mhm.
12 games. Let's say they go 7-5, and now they're within 2 or 3 games of 500. They're still 2 games out of of the wild card. Are you buying or selling, or
Oh, I mean, if
how do you
they're,
straddle? How do you
if you're,
straddle that line?
in my opinion, if you're only 2 games out of the wild card, you almost have a responsibility to buy. I'm not going to tell you how much they could possibly buy because I don't love where their farm system is right now, so I don't know what kind of ammunition they have. It's kind of a middling farm system for me. But in my opinion, if you remain 2 games out in a couple weeks, I think you probably go for it. To again, to what extent, I'm not sure.
What are you
If you're more like 5 games out, I think you sell.
what are you looking for? Are you looking for a replacement for Blaze Alexander
That's a good
immediately?
question. Now that's I imagine that Mike's probably been on the phone the past 24 hours trying to see if he can find a third baseman to plug that whole leg. I don't know if it's like bringing back someone like a Ramon Urias. I don't know if he's
He's on
even.
the IL with St.
Oh, okay.
Louis.
Um, but yeah, he's probably been working the phones trying to find someone who's on the fringes of another roster who can play a capable
Maybe
third.
they can find Mike
I,
Moustakas' phone
there you
number
go. Maybe you can bring back Joey Ortiz. There's one.
or Gary Gaetti.
There you go. So,
God, you're going back.
but yeah, I mean, they've obviously taken on a lot of water at that position.
Yeah.
I mean, their opening day, who they thought there was going to be their opening day third baseman got Tommy John surgery, and then really maybe definitely one of the best moves they've made the past couple years, picking up Blaze Alexander. In a total fluke situation, a half hour before the break begins, breaks his hand, and that's just sort of been the story for the Orioles the past couple of years, past couple calendar years.
And it
Finally,
started with the Westberg injury right after the trade deadline.
yeah, it's something always happens.
Yeah.
AIS, it's always something, and
Yeah.
like they finally got themselves a 4 game winning streak, feeling good about themselves going into the break, and then that happens,
Yeah.
and it's tough.
Ross, again, and we might be repeating ourselves a little bit with this trade deadline stuff. I could see, no matter whether we're going for it or not, I could see seeing obviously what you can get for Taylor Ward because his contract's up at the end of the year. And I've seen enough of him that I don't hate him, but he's not going to take us to the promised land. But one player, again, I'm so fixated on Trevor Rogers and why the club isn't making more of a concerted effort to sign this guy and just end all, shut down all the talk unless you get totally blown away for him. And I don't see that happen.
No, yeah, maybe they are, but maybe they are working on something.
Yeah.
But I can't see him taking anything, because if they, I
I think he wants to be here. I've talked to him a couple times on this.
yeah,
I mean, he's not confiding in me about his
no,
negotiations, but I think he
yeah.
wants to be here. I think he
You know
sincerely
what?
likes
Well, the
Baltimore.
thing is they do this
Yeah.
because you know he's going to get something
Well,
somewhere.
he's going to get it somewhere. And the
Oh yeah,
Orioles are
yeah.
not, it's not like they're going to avoid paying him $20 million a year or $18 million a year and go get somebody as good for $6 million. Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
price
no,
of that's the price of
I don't
business
know.
today.
I don't know who they have that they can trade to get something of quality
Yeah,
other than a big name guy. And you ain't going to
yeah.
do that. You ain't going to do any of your main guys.
I,
Holiday, I don't know. That could bring something. But if they are in the, where they're at, if it was close, I just it depends on what happens. Like you said, the next week will tell you a lot. But then they after that, then they play Atlanta, Detroit,
yeah,
Philadelphia. Then you got a break with the Angels. Then you play Texas and Minnesota,
That's
who's
great. That's great when you're a team that you refer to as you get a break.
you get a break. Well, you
And
really,
we lost 2 out of 3 to them 2 weeks ago.
yeah,
We
yeah,
lost two
really.
out of three. Yeah.
So, but
Um, what
yeah.
do you make before we get out of here? Because we've gone long today. What do you make, Ross? They did finally take a lot of pitchers. Um, starting in the third round. After that, they took about 9 or 10 pitchers.
They got yeah they did they took nine college pitchers and one
Yeah.
I think one or two a couple of right-handers but high school guys that's going to be the if things go the way they're talking about with the
Collective bargaining.
new agreement your colleges are going to be one of your minor league
Yeah. They're going to be
deals
the
there.
third arm of the minor leagues.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and these guys, college guys, are closer to the big leagues than your high school guys, obviously, in most cases.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's hey to see them get 9 pitchers, that's the most they've ever got. Now you got to develop them, and go from there. But it was really great to see them get pitchers.
Yeah.
And
Luke,
they also got some high school position players, which is a
Yes, they
little bit of
did.
a
Yeah.
yeah.
departure from what they've done in the past.
Luke, you were pretty excited about Eric Booth, the number 1 pick. And
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend like I know these guys like the back of my hand, but just based on the reports that I read in that area of the draft, he was really the only guy they could take with star upside. The college bats that were available in that area, guys like Hakopian, Burris, Tyler Bell, don't really have that star upside for me. This kid does. And
yeah.
so they're taking a star swing, and that's what I like to do in the top 10 is take that star swing. And this kid just turned 18. He's got a lot of runway to figure it out. And so I'm excited to watch him in the minor leagues, probably starting next year.
Yeah. All right. That's going to do it for today. The Orioles will be back in action Friday night in Houston. We will be back next Monday, probably in the 5 o'clock hour. I thank you. Enjoy your the home run derby tonight. Enjoy your All-Star break, guys, and we'll talk next week. All right. We have been brought to you by the Costas Inn with 2 great locations at North Point Boulevard and the Fairgrounds at Timonium right next to the OTB above the grandstand. Also by Warnken Law, 443 results if you've been injured in an accident. That's going to do it for today. For Ross Grimsley and Luke Jackson, I'm Stan the Fan Charles. We'll see you down the road. I'll be back on Friday with the Friday Baseball Show. My power rankings are up on the website at pressboxonline.com along with
You wrote
my
about wanting to
article,
get the
All-Star Memories.
yeah, there you
All-Star Memories. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Ryan Ripken. To get a load of this story, he got Rick Sutcliffe on his show,
go. Mhm.
and I was watching it at the doctor's office. I had to take my wife. He was at the Taylor Swift Travis Kelce wedding. And get a load. I know you've never heard this story. Do you know Rick at all, Ross?
A
Little
little
bit.
bit,
Yeah.
yeah, a little bit.
He was told by his parents that his uncle, great uncle, was a member of the Beatles. His uncle, I forget his first name, like Scott Sutcliffe or something like that.
The
So he
drummer.
so he goes up to not the guy we always heard about, the drummer that gave it
Right.
up. He goes up to Paul McCartney after the wedding and he says, Paul, he goes, I'm Rick Sutcliffe. I played in the major leagues. I was a baseball pitcher. He goes, I know who you are. He goes, I've got to clarify this story. He says, I asked him, he said, my parents told me that my uncle Scott, I think it was Scott, was a member of the Beatles, Scott Sutcliffe. And Paul McCartney goes, oh boy, he really made a mistake. He goes, he was in our band and his girlfriend, he had a girlfriend in Germany, and she said, you got to stay here. Don't go with this band that's going nowhere.
God.
And
Oh,
McCartney said, oh boy, did he make a mistake.
God.
Great story. Great story. I got to give a
Oh,
shout out
yeah,
to Ryan Ripken on that.
that's great.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys, have a great week ahead and go O's. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.